This is on East Hill Road, right after I left Tanglewood. And I took the picture because there was still that mist, that low-lying clouds throughout the Pennsylvania hills. And I think I took 2 pictures of that. Yeah, there's a close-up. That's not a fire, those are clouds. And then just up the street, I found this cemetery, Frost Settlement Cemetery. So this is very old. It must have been, I'm assuming it's Frost Cemetery. It must be. I don't see another one listed here. And I just thought it looked really nice on the hill, the way it was. And I also saw that it was very old. I like to sort of go and see how old everything is. This is 1886, 1829 the person was born. 1801 to 1888. Look at that. I'll live to see the end of the Civil War. And that must be one of the Frosts because of the name of it. Born 1822. Let's just call this Dinner with Jeff. Look at this, I'm cooked. Look at me. Oh my God. Starting to look like Grizzly Adams. I think my face is sunburned, even through my shield, which is tinted. The sun was brutal today. I bought this 100% 100 proof number 100 sunblock. It's 100 proof, in case it's a little cold. Anyway, here I am under a canopy, which is hooked to the back of my bike. Here's the flatbed. Behind you, where you're sitting, is my tent cot. This goes across to the tent cot, over the top of it. Bad news, though. The parts of my tent cot that were sticking out from under the canopy aren't exactly as waterproof as advertised. So I see the underlining, I think, got a bit wet. But it's supposed to stop raining for a couple hours before the sun goes down completely. And it's supposed to be 84, so I'll just open it all up. And hopefully it'll be dry for the sleep. But you know what? I've done worse. So any way you look at it, I'll just be fine. Got some gourmet canned chicken breast from Walmart. Peas and carrots. Easy open. What more could one want? I already had all the snacks. And my tea is overheating. Oh, I'm going to burn it. Yeah, it should be all right. It's been simmering for quite a while. I didn't want to turn it up too high because of the canopy. And I want to get more. Oh, and here, the place seems really nice. It's, Kapawakawana, where the hell am I? Conewago Isle Campground. First I set up, and it turns out there's no water, but I can go across the street and get it. Then I plug in. There's no power. So I go and I tell the guy, he says, oh, my dad should have told you, it's blown out from, So I asked him if he could get an extension cord. He came over, but he found a breaker and the power's actually working. So I got power, and all I got to do is go across the street for water. The only thing I use that water for is to rinse things out, though, because I use bottled water for everything else. It's easier. I know I got my water. I don't have to worry about it. But there will be times when I'm low on bottled water, and I'll use the tap and heat it up for some tea or coffee. I got these coffee in bags. Who is it? Folgers does single bags of coffee. But I'm just having tea now. This is my second night on the road to Tennessee. I'm in a part of Pennsylvania just outside of Gettysburg called East Berlin. I don't think it resembles in any way East Berlin. Maybe the people who founded the area were from East Berlin. I don't know. These things, you know, you're always looking at yourself. But I wouldn't know where I am if I didn't watch. So on the way here to this campsite, I was actually going to ride for another half hour. I might have made it to the border of Pennsylvania and crossed into Maryland. But I saw up ahead the sky getting really dark. And from experience last year in my cross-country trip, I realized that, you know, 9 times out of 10, if you're taking that chance that it isn't going to be bad, it's horrible. You wish to hell you hadn't taken the chance. I remember one time, where was I? Nevada. I was in Nevada, not far from Reno. Up ahead is a rainstorm. I wanted to get through this pass near Reno. If I got through the pass, we're talking miles and miles, like 30, 40 miles away or something, I would miss the rain that was coming. As I looked at on the phone and whatever, I saw the cloud cover and the rain coming in. And I figured if I move, I'll be able to get through the mountains. The storm was going to stay on the one side. When I got to that highway I was on, just as I decide, okay, I'm going, and I'm moving, dust storm comes up. I don't know if you've ever been in a dust storm. It wasn't like the Depression when you couldn't see nothing, but all these branches and pieces of things blowing across the highway. You know, I'm worried about the air filter on my bike, on my cycle, I should say. And I made it. The trouble is, it took me so long. It was getting dark. I couldn't find a campsite, and I ended up nodding off at a truck stop gas station, one of those big store gas stations. You know, I was in and out all night to go to the bathroom or whatever. But they're used to that because there were a lot of trucks parked too. So I'm sitting on my bike with a blanket around me, sleeping. And then the sun started coming up, and well, I got a healthy hour or two sleep. I guess I can go now. Oh well. And oh yeah, that's right. That was the very next day. I left Reno. I went to this gas station, and at that time I figured, well, I got some time to wander a bit, so I won't look at the map, and I often do that because I end up with better scenery and stuff, you know, than the interstate. I had some coffee anyway. As I'm leaving the gas station, instead of making a right onto the highway I was on, I thought, well, this road that's straight ahead is going in the direction I want to go. And so I thought, what the hell? And all these other people are going that way too, so I'm thinking this is a highway. And you move up, it turns to the left, to the right, starts going straight up. And I look way up ahead, and it looked like there's some kind of booths or something. And people were stopping and talking to someone and then being let through. I see this big building way ahead, and this girl with a gun on her and security, and her tag said Tesla. Is this the Tesla building? And she goes, yeah, are you visiting? And I said, no, I left the gas station over there and I thought this was a highway. I'm here by mistake. And she goes, you don't work here? You're not visiting? No. I just saw everybody going down this road, so I went. At the security checkpoint entering the Tesla parking lot. Yeah, at least that's just one of their plants anyway. I don't know what they did there, what they make there. She just said, you can just turn around here. Just go ahead. And she leans over and says, he's okay, let him go. I left. So I found the Tesla plant. That one would have been not far from Reno. That's all I remember. How's your tea? All I want to do is make sure I eat before it gets dark. Damn, there's an ant there. Bastard. I had to spray myself with off. Mosquitoes were coming in here hiding under the canopy with me. Little bastards actually come in out of the rain. And here is a shot of Conewago from Google Earth. It actually is an island. This is a panorama, and I tried to do this at every spot. I try to remember to take a panorama. from every place I stayed for the night. I'm trying to get into that habit anyway. That was my nearest neighbor, a few spaces down. And I think that little post you see there is the water I had to walk across the street to get to. These ducks, I had never seen anything like them before. I looked it up when I got home, and they're called Muscovy Ducks. Where they're from and why they're called that is kind of up in the air. I don't know anything more about them. They're half duck and half turkey. And I don't know if that's actually the case or what the case is. And here is some video of the Muscovy Ducks. See, I guess all those movements are communication. Now he's going to shake his tail, and the other one's going to. And the one standing on one leg, I wonder what that means. Darndest looking things. So those are Muscovy ducks.
I've just learned a comedy from some of my friends in the city. The voices are short, and I think that you ought to admit that the chorus is pretty. There was a young lady in Pella, fell in love with a bow-legged fella. This husky young chap made her sit in his lap, but she fell straight through into this cellar. Fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee. Fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee. Bill Jones was the son of a brewer.